Have two decisions, guys, right? The first decision you can make is, some people are saying, why don't you just say, look, x equals minus 4p is a root of this. If you divide x plus 4p in, that means it's a factor, and hence if you prove that's a factor, then that must mean that x equals minus 4p is a root. Would you agree with that? Now, looks difficult, if you ask me. But what I might be inclined to do is, you have letters everywhere. What I might be inclined to do is, why don't we just replace, anywhere we see an x, replace it with
minus 4p.
And replace it with a 4p. Let's see what happens here. So we get a minus 4p cubed minus 3p times minus 4p squared minus 6p squared times minus 4p minus 8p cubed. I have to prove this equals 0, don't I? That when you put in minus 4p as the x value, the y value of that function has to become 0. Is everybody cool with that? That's what a root means. Okay, that's why it doesn't equal 0 there. That refers to the y value. Okay? So, we multiply it out, minus 64p cubed. That's 16p squared, multiplied by 3, 48p cubed. Multiply that out and you get 24p cubed minus 8p cubed. In essence, minus 64 plus 48 is minus 16. Minus 16 plus 24 is plus 8. Plus 8 minus 8, 0. We've hence proven it's a root. Now, here's the problem. We don't know the other ones, do we? So, as it turns out, we may need to divide anyway, because we have to find the rest of them. So, division is probably where we should have went. It's going to be hard, but we can do this. Have faith. Now, and x squared, alright? Multiply that out, and what happens? Okay, then take it away. And what do we get? And then after this, minus 6p squared x. Now, this one divided by this one. 1 plus 1. Yeah, you're right, minus 1. 1px, yeah. Okay, and what's next?
Minus 1px squared.
Minus 1px squared, yeah.
Minus 4p squared x.
Minus 4.
P squared x.
Oh, yeah. And then,
Change
signs, plus and plus, minus 2p squared x. And do you have a feeling this is going to come out?
Yeah.
Why?
So now.
8 is 4 times bigger than 2, and 4 is 4 times bigger than 1. Yeah? So how many times is it going this time?
2p squared minus 2p squared.
Minus 2p squared, yeah? Oh dear. So we multiply that back out and we get minus 2p squared x minus 8p cubed. Change the sign. Plus 0. Now, we've proved that it's a factor, but we haven't got the other roots. What would we normally do? We factorize the quadratic. And do you know that painful look a mechanic would give your dad when he goes to the mechanic to get his car fixed? Painful look of, it's going to take a bit of work. That is the exact same look. You just frown at it for a second and then go, it's going to take a lot of work. Now, when we don't know what to do, how to do a quadratic, what's the one formula we always go after? Go after the minus b, lads. Right? Getting more marks on the board. A equals 1. B equals minus 1p. Savage, good job.
We're just doing minus b.
Yeah. C equals minus 2p squared, yeah? Now look at this. Minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Plus or minus blank minus blank 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 all over 2 times blank. Everybody still on board with me?
Yeah.
We just made a minus b out of that big quadratic. Now, what we're looking at here is 1 for a, 1 for a.
1p.
Now, what's minus b?
1p.
1p. What's b squared? Minus 1p
Squared.
squared. 4 times 1 times.
Minus 2p squared.
Now, here's the fun part.
You can't even pop that in the calculator.
Exactly. So, what we're going to do is we're going to use, God forbid, our own brain. I know that wasn't part of the deal, but here we are. Now, minus 1p by minus 1p. Anybody?
P squared.
P squared, yeah? And then 4 times 1? Minus 4. What's minus 4 times minus 2? 8p squared.
8p squared.
Sorry, minus 2p squared, which is 8p.
Squared.
Oh, plus or minus 9p squared. That's workable.
Okay.
What's the square root of 9p? What number multiplies itself to give you 9p squared?
3p.
3p. Ah. Oh. Now, 2. What's now? 1p plus 3p?
4p.
It's either 4p over 2 or
Minus. Oh no.
1p minus 3p.
Minus 2p.
And then 2p over, and then minus 1p. Do you see, if you do exactly what you do normally, everything works out. We did long division like we would normally. We encountered a freak quadratic that we didn't know how to deal with. When we encounter quadratic equations we don't really know how to deal with, we can use the minus b formula.
That was a long question.
What?
That was a long question.
Yeah, I know, I did it.
You're still bored.
Now, what? Yeah. I found the other 3 roots in terms of p. The first root is x equals minus 4p. The second 2 roots are 2p and minus 1p and 4p. Now, 25, yeah? A rectangular box is designed so its length is twice its height and its width is 1 centimetre greater than its height. Find the volume of this box. Now, draw a picture. Pretty picture. There you go. And then there's your box. Okay? More of a cube than a box, really. My bad. Now, what is, let's start off with they want h to be the height, do they?
Yeah.
So they want, if you read the question, it wants everything in terms of h. So,
Width is h plus 1.
okay, let's just say height is the height, yeah? What is the width?
H plus 1. Is 1.
Yeah. And what is the length?
2h.
Excellent. Now something that looks very hard now turns into this. What exercise are we in?
211.
But what is the point of 211? It's the factor theorem, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we've been solving cubic equations all over the place.
What's volume again?
Length by width by height.
And then-
Sorry, volume equals length multiplied by width multiplied by height. Hence I multiplied all 3 sides by each other.
And area is length by width.
Length by width, yeah. So we get 2h cubed, h cubed plus 2h squared. Is that alright with you guys?
Yeah.
Now, find the volume of the box in terms of its height. There is the volume of the box in terms of its height. If the volume of the box is 300, find the value of h. Well, why don't I just put this equal to 300? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Now, according to what we've been doing recently is this. If we plot this on a diagram, volume would be the y-axis and height would be the x-axis, alright? But let's look at this equation on its own here. 2h cubed plus 2h squared plus 0 h minus 300. Why did I put the 0 h in?
So it goes down.
It lines up and it looks a lot like what you were working with earlier in the chapter, right? It looks it's the same as an x, right? What do we do next when we're solving one of these from scratch? How do we find the first root? Calculator.
Just what is it? Say it's x.
Yeah. 2, 0, 300. Minus 10 to plus 10, step of 1. We can't have minus height anyway, can we? No, so that doesn't matter. 5. Ready for this? So, h equals 5. So let's try 5 out. So you have to show your workings, don't you? Remember I said you can't just do that at the hack. So 2 times 5 cubed plus 2 times 5 squared plus 0 h minus 300. And then you can just sort of say, look, the two of them together must be 300 minus the other 300 equals 0.
So what are you doing?
I just plugged in 5 just to show that it works. Because you can't just say the calculator says 5 works.
Yeah.
Now, what do we always do once we have the first root? That is h equals 5. We long divide h minus 5 in, don't we?
Yeah.
Into 2h cubed plus 2h squared plus 0h minus 300. Am I right with that?
Yeah.
Now, get up there. 2h squared, 2h cubed, minus 10h squared, plus 12h squared, 0h, 6h in the middle,
No.
12h in the middle,
Yeah.
12h squared, minus 60h, minus and plus, turns that into a, 60h, yeah?
Minus 300.
And then bring down the minus 300,
60
plus 60h, yeah?
60
Yeah, it'll work, yeah. Now, here's what we found out so far. H minus 5 is a factor, hence h equals 5 is a root. We now have a quadratic up here. Now, look at this, right, so there's your quadratic, yeah, we're going to try and solve it equal to 0. We can divide it by 2. It's 30. 3 and 10, 2 and 5. Is it okay to get a decimal answer this time?
Yeah.
A positive decimal answer?
Yeah.
What happens if I said the height is 2.64, 2.94?
Yeah.
Anything wrong with that?
No.
So I have to look into the minus b, don't I?
Yeah.
Now minus b. A is 1, B is 6, C is 30. Now, I have a feeling this won't work. Minus 6 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which would be 36, minus 4ac, minus 4 times 1 times 30, which is minus 120. We're going to get the square root of a negative number. Are we able to do the square root of a negative number? No. Square root any negative number, not going to work, is it? That's why we found no negative answers. That's why we found no other answers for us. Remember we said it was 0 once. We didn't see anything else. So therefore h equals 5. That means the height is 5, the length is 10, and the width is 6. 10 by 6, 60, 60 by 5, 300. And you know dead certain that you're right. Now Rory, converse to